Welcome back to the final one, which I'm going to be doing, which are for the Warriors of Chaos, or Chaos as they are well known. The Chaos Gods have had many names and aspects. For most in the old world who are aware of such things, they are Khorne, the Blood of God, Tzeentch, the Arch Manipulator, Nurgle, the Lord of Decay, and Slaanesh, the Dark Prince of Chaos. These ruinous powers have many mortal worshippers, most of which hail from the far north of Norsca and beyond. I don't know where Norsca is, no idea. Their armies are legion, made up of barbarous Chaos Marauders and Chaos Warriors, particularly ruthless and bloody fighters gifted with arcane suits of all-encompassing armour, accompanied by a mass of mind-fraying creatures. These hordes can be raiders that cross the icy seas in long ships, large armies that raze entire cities, or full-scale invasions where entire nations quake in fear, convinced the end times are upon them. And quite possibly they are, for now is the time of the three-eyed king. Archaon, the ever-chosen, gathers his countless servants, who are ready at the Lord's whispered command to bring doom to all. So yeah, I mean, not really optimistic chaps these. Yeah, well, they seem to have the shit together. Horde. The faction has no settlements. Infrastructure and military improvements are linked to each individual Chaos Horde. Okay. Corruption. Chaos corruption can be spread in enemy territory, leading to public order problems and even Chaos rebellions. So the playstyle is they've got a strong unit roster with armoured infantry and monsters, severely limited missile options, strong diplomatic penalties with almost all factions, and they cannot trade. The economy is heavily reliant on sacking, raiding and battle loot. They're very similar to Greenskins, in fact identical. Okay, so they've got a Chaos Giant, which looks quite similar to the Orc one, in this picture anyway. Lots of HP. Armor is 30, leadership 100, speed 38, melee attack 68, melee defense 30, and weapon strength 530. With large armor piercing there. Show the breakdown. What's the breakdown? The weapon damage is 130, and the armor piercing damage is 400. So that does look. I think that's pretty much identical to the Greenskins one. Hell Cannon, which is siege artillery, which is armor-piercing missiles, doom fire, and it's unbreakable. Hell Cannon transforms the souls of former victims into crackling bolts of energy. Targets hit by this projectile receive a leadership penalty. Okay. The demonic bond between Hell Cannon and the shot also allows minor corrections of the latter's flight path. Okay, so it can actually hit the target when it's not quite on target. When fired in first-person mode, you can control the projectile yourself. Cool. Breakable. This unit does not suffer from any form of leadership loss and will never rout. Cool, so the HP is actually pretty good for cannon. It's all about range, obviously. The range is 420, which is pretty epic, and the missile damage is very good. Well, it's 80, but the armor piercing damage is 260. And it's explosive damage as well, so that's really useful for large, lots of units. That's brilliant. Cool. The damage value shown is damage over 10 seconds. Let's have a look at the chosen Axe Infantry, armor and shielded. Lots of HP. Armor is really rather good. Leadership is good as well. Speed is not great. Melee attack and melee defense are meh, okay, pretty good. Weapon strength is 40, with 10 of that being for armor pierce damage. So not fabulous, to be honest with you. But they have 60 in them, and they seem that in itself is pretty epic. Okay, so let's move on to the next stage. The faction leader is Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. Not a lot to see there with the mask, but big old horns. And his number 2, I assume, or maybe number 3, is Prince Sigvald the Magnificent, who looks a bit camp, but whatever. Kolek Suneater, who... whatever, I don't know. He can't see shit. Look, imagine his peripheral vision with those horns. Cool. Right. Let's go. So hang on, 3 characters. Here's a powerful melee fighter and leader. Leadership +6 first as humans, since he is human I assume. Chaos Corruption +1 for all characters. I'm not going to bother with him, I'm just going to do the lead guy. Ugh, do I have to? No I don't. Pause it and you can read it. So as per usual, +5 to movement range for all characters. Upkeep is -10 with this guy involved, the Chaos Warriors and Chaos Knights. And Chaos Warriors, as we see there, lots of armor. Pretty base units, but lots of armor. Chaos Warriors with halberds, lots of armor again, so these are all pretty resistant. Oh, let's have a look at these specials. They can hide in the forest. They can charge. Defenses versus large. Okay, so useful against large units. And the Chosen, which have got great weapons, which can hide. Slightly better armor than the other guys. Leadership is good. Okay. So they seem to be based on pretty large groups of units, with nothing particularly outstanding, but that's okay. Let's have a look.
The old world is weak. The mortal...
Hopefully it's still recording. I am really sorry about that.
Ignorant of what truly awaits in the north. I come before the mighty Archaon as a mere minion. For now, at least, the gods' favored champion chooses to hear my advice. I pray to the dark powers that I do not fail him. Despite such a risk, I urge my master that now is the time to march south. The Northmen grow restless. We must harness that and send the tribes in a great tide southwards to flood the old world. Archaon himself, chosen of the gods, will lead the hordes of chaos as we despoil the lands of men and dwarfs. No soul, no matter how blackened or pure, shall see salvation.
Archaon seems like a man of very few words, which is quite unsettling. Let's see. And let's see what the initial army looks like.
You are the ever-chosen. The Chaos Gods call you to action, mighty champion. Their lust for ruin must be sated. You shall go into the lands of the mortals to spread fear and destruction.
Right, so there's no battles to
The
begin
tribes
with.
to the west shall fall easily before you.
Okay guys, I
Find
hope
those
that
willing
went
to join your
okay
cause
and that little video
and save
break
the
hasn't
rest.
completely wrecked the video.
Further to the south,
Thanks for
lie the
checking these
nations
out,
of
and
men. They will resist
hopefully
your
I'll record
advance
some
and
stuff
for good
later
reason.
on when I
You will
can
bring
play the
them
game. It's
annihilation,
got a learning
mighty
curve, this game.
lord.
Okay, cheers.